referring to the emotional side of this.
And the physiological.
The emotional side of it is very, very difficult for someone with my background to suddenly not be able to walk, not be able to stand, not be able to drive a car, not be able to walk to the bathroom without assistance. In addition to all of those constant pains, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without ceasing, where no pain pill touched it at all. I mean, just nothing relieved the pain totally. The nearest I ever got to any type of relief, temporary relief, was when I had oral surgery done, and Loracet Plus dulled the pain some. Other than, and that's highly addictive, and you can't live on that. So that's certainly not the answer. No, it makes you into an emotional wreck, because I was always the one who had to help everybody else on the battlefield, on special ops missions and everything else. I'm the one that carried people out, and to now be in this condition is tough.
John, everything is changing tonight, and God bless you. Let's get started. All right, this is a blood sample that I have taken of John's blood approximately 3.5 hours. Excuse me, approximately 3.5 hours after we did the hot tub with the oxygen to cleanse the external body. And we also, after John sat in the hot tub for, with only 1 gallon of the concentrated vital ion edible oxygen, to approximately 75 to 80 gallons of, I'd say maybe 95-degree water to 100. Is that about right, John?
Yes.
And so what the oxygen did, as you can see from this blood slide, the first test previous didn't even look like blood. It was just massive aggregation and toxic shock at the cell level. And what I'm going to do here is focus the blood slide in, that we get a better view of what has happened in 3.5 hours of 1 hour in the hot tub. John also drank approximately half a bottle of the nighttime formula, which has high natural organic lithium. And in this particular formula, there is 80 electrolytes. So the neurotransmitters are sending messages to the lower extremities. As we're looking at this slide, it's a dramatic change, which the body, health and disease is a moment-by-moment thing. And so we do have the power to take control of our own health at the cell level in the things that we do. But what John has been looking for, and what I have been looking for, is John has been looking for a way that he could take control himself and get back on his feet. So I'm going to move this around, and what I'm real excited about is the leukocytes that are activated now. I watched a documentary, here we go right here. There's a leukocyte here, very active, and it is cleaning up the body. In the dark field, as I'm looking into the microscope and not at the screen, the dark field is very clear. He has parasites, but not a very high amount of parasites. What I'm most excited about is the activation of the leukocytes that's cleaning up his body, and the dramatic change. I was so excited when we did this second blood test, and all I can say is praise God. He's so beautiful, and I know as John is sitting here, he's totally astounded at the dramatic change, and I'm sure that hope is flowing through every cell in his body right now. Excuse me, and I don't want to speak for him, but he's glowing. He's just absolutely glowing. If you notice here, John, this leukocyte, look at that. It's like a Pac-Man, and it's in there. And this cell right here is an irregular cell. It's a free radical cell, which I think probably I'm not a a doctor, and I'm certainly not a hematologist, but it appears to be an acid cell. But you can see that it's all by itself, which is good. So anyway, I can hardly wait to have a hematologist or a medical doctor that knows how to read these better than myself. All I do is document various conditions, that I have the privilege of working with, and I am so excited, as I'm sure you are, John and Jill, and God bless Robin for letting us be here and doing this. Right here in the center, you see this stacking of, they're called spicules, and it looks like it's really amazing. In the next slide that we do, you probably won't see any of that, but anyway, I'm thrilled beyond words, so I'm going to turn the microphone over to John and let him explain to the world, because we plan on taking this to the world and giving hope to each and every Gulf War syndrome vet in the world, Agent Orange, and the general population that has toxic shock syndrome. As I mentioned in the first slide, 40% of the diseases in the whole world, according to medical science, is toxic shock syndrome at the cell level, and that we live in the most toxic environment in the history of time. And so anyway, I'm going to turn this over to John and let him tell you how he feels at this moment in time.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your bringing this healing to me, and I hope that this testimony helps others to believe long enough to try it. All they have to do is try it. As I look at the pictures of the blood on the screen, it's almost impossible for me to comprehend that such a change could take place in such a short length of time after basically just one treatment. There is absolutely no comparison between the two, and I'm sure that that will be verified by the experts. The thing that I can talk to you about that the experts can't is that I watched this lady do it, and they didn't. And I'm here to tell you that I specifically watched to be sure that there was absolutely no chance of any slides being changed with clean blood or any hocus pocus smoke and mirrors. I watched her and put the slide under the microscope and watched it appear on the screen. There was absolutely no time, no opportunity for any switch to have taken place in both the pre-test and the after-test. And I think that that is perhaps what will be used to poo-poo this whole idea, is that there must have been some switch like that that would make such a miraculous difference. And I'm here to testify to the fact that that is absolutely impossible. I'm an extremely observant individual, and there was no opportunity for any such thing. The other half of it that I can talk to you about that the experts can't is how I feel. It is absolutely uncanny to go through what I have gone through and to seek help from as many different experts as I could, pursuing every possible cure, everything from straight medical science to acupuncture to ozone treatments to aura cleansing by spiritual advisors, etc. Everything has been tried. Nothing has helped one bit until now. And in one treatment, I am noticeably better. I was not able to get from the car to where the test was being done without help when I arrived before the treatment. My wife had to walk ahead of me, and I had to have both hands on her shoulders in order to be able to walk that distance. At this point, I can not only walk alone, but I was actually doing some jogging